Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! You have often heard me say that we never seem to see enough kind people in this universe, but the one thing that I've known about Descendants of Zombies fans for forever is you guys feel very passionate about who and what you love, and there are a lot of kind people found within this niche. That's why I've always wanted to be a part of it. I've always wanted to be a part of something special, and since lending my voice to the soundtrack of Descendants of Zombies, I had the honor of sharing with you my story. A story that I wanted to be heard and seen by more people than ever before. Really anything in my life, if there was one thing that I could choose to do all over again, it would be to have my story heard and seen by more people than ever before. I remember in 2006 when I was the biggest Emily Osment fan in the world, and I loved Emily Osment with all of my heart. You know, everybody was talking about Miley Cyrus's character, Hannah Montana. The TV show was at the heights of its popularity, but the one person I saw something special in forever and always was Emily Osment. And this month, on the 24th of this month, we will celebrate the 20th anniversary of Hannah Montana. Miley Cyrus is coming back to don the character for the first time in what feels like forever. But you know something? I have never seen something have such a significant impact on so many lives and change lives for the better. Because no matter who we were, we all took something special away from Descendants of Zombies. The story captivated us. The characters were beautiful. They were beyond strong. And the one thing that I gave them a profound amount of credit for and showed ultimate respect for was how defiantly strong they were. I love defiant people. I love how people stand up for who and what they believe in. And no matter how critics feel about them, you guys have forever supportive been about them. And the thing is about you guys, you deserve more respect than you've ever been shown. And I just wanted to give you the best videos. I had no idea how I was ever going to do that. All I knew was that I was going to stand up for people like Kylie and Ruby, who I loved with all of my heart because of how they showed me how much further kindness can really take people in this lifetime. The one thing that I've always shown a tremendous amount of heart and dedication for is just how they've been there for each other every step of the way. There's just something about their friendships that I think a lot of people have chosen to criticize that they've never really had any business criticizing. But, you know, I've always believed that there are far more kinder people in this lifetime, and that's what they show us, both on the set and off the set of Descendants of Zombies. They are incredibly supportive of each other. I know that Meg Donnelly has seen her fair share of trials and tribulations, but the one thing that I've always given Meg Donnelly a profound amount of credit for is that she is somebody who deserves far more respect than she's ever been shown. 1 million followers is a far cry from where Meg Donnelly should be in her career. She should have 2-3 million followers for just how much heart and dedication she's put behind every role and how she's really believed in herself. I think that we have drawn so much inspiration from especially Zombies characters because the reoccurring theme in Zombies was always trying to find acceptance in a world sometimes that was very difficult for many of us to find acceptance within. We all struggle with it. No matter if we choose to admit to it or not, there's somebody out there watching this video today who probably thinks this is the coolest YouTube channel ever, who is probably struggling with this. And I've always wanted you guys to know that you're never alone. And the thing is that there are far more people out there struggling with this than ever given credit for, but that's what Zombies taught us, that no matter how difficult it may be to achieve acceptance in a world, we all do eventually get to this point where we realize that our friends, even if it's just few friends that we have, the 2 or 3 really good friends that we have forever stuck with us, and they've always and forever remained by our side. You know, I never really had the easiest high school experience. I remember being a geek, which pretty much was a term for someone who was very intelligent. So I would spend a lot of the time in the computer lab developing websites and, you know, following my interests like pro wrestling and cartoons and animation, because in the 90s, it was not CGI stuff you were watching. It was pretty much animation, cartoons. So I used to watch SpongeBob SquarePants. I used to watch Toy Story. I was a huge fan of Monsters, Inc. because you can see that from my stuffy collection there in the back. And I can't even tell you guys how many people thought I was the biggest loser ever for how passionate I felt about things like Disney and Nickelodeon, because in that generation, you had so many cool shows, especially from Nickelodeon. You had Hey Arnold. I will never forget how Helga always called Arnold Football Head, or Rugrats, and how Tommy would always inspire Chucky that they had to get through this. They got to do this because all they ever had to do was believe in themselves. You had so many cool shows that you couldn't help but fall in love with. And now we have Descendants of Zombies, which is really the first franchise that has really given us something special to believe in. I have never seen a stronger cast feel so so passionate about their futures and just wanting to be a part of something so special. Kylie Contrell had that chance, and she really made the most of it. I know that she received her fair share of criticism, so what I wanted to do by creating this YouTube channel was take that away. And if I ever was going to say anything at all about Kylie Contrell, it was going to have to be something nice. Little did I know that it would come in the form of a YouTube channel where 4,000 people and over 100,000 views would be seen for this YouTube channel. Not too many YouTube creators have this happen for them. No other YouTube channel revolving their content, he or she's content, around Descendants of Zombies has experienced what this YouTube channel has in such a short amount of time. You think about the success story behind this YouTube channel, which has everything to do with your love and support and how well received these videos have been. You think about the success we're going to see 20 years from now. And you think about 20 years in the future, I would love to be a Phil from the future and still be having these conversations with thousands of people. You know, I think that we've obviously felt very passionate about this story. We felt passionate about fairy tale characters, and Descendants of Zombies has given us more of a reason to believe in fairy tales and follow them more than perhaps ever before. I remember in 2015 when they first brought the live-action Cinderella to life, and Lily May's portrayal of Cinderella received rave reviews. Everybody couldn't help but fall head over heels in love with her portrayal of Cinderella. I remember when they shot this one in Buckingham, England, and the scenery was so beautiful. It was one of the most lifelike live actions that I had ever seen in my life. And then Emma Watson does this beautiful portrayal of Belle, who was always one of my favorite Disney princesses, and I couldn't help but feel inspired by it. And I think that seeing these stories retold by people like Emma Watson, by people like Lily May, and eventually Kylie Contrell and Malia Baker, this is what the future is setting up to be. And we are really excited to be a part of that future. I would love to be sitting here a year from now reviewing Descendants 5 book Wonderland, which I'm looking forward to doing this past summer, because I really believe that these moments are moments that never have a chance of happening enough. And because these moments don't happen too often, we should really seize these moments. And I'm really looking forward to being a part of that and sharing in that with you guys this summer. Because I think that if we're going to say anything at all about your favorite stars, we should give them a chance, and we should believe in them more than perhaps we've ever believed in anything in our entire lives. Descendants of Zombies undeniably has brought us together that much closer together, and we've seemed to have formed this unbreakable bond, and we've become inseparable through the years. And as time has passed, we've gained a greater appreciation for not only the cast, but also ourselves, because we've become the best of friends. We've never ever quitted each other. And I know this firsthand, because some of the very first subscribers that I've ever had are still here with me. This has become such a life-changing experience for me, and if I could write a journal entry about anything I've ever had the chance to experience, it would be the profound impact that Descendants of Zombies, along with all of you, have had on my heart. Because I not only have the chance to share with you my story, I had the chance to hear yours. And I've heard countless stories about how people have felt inspired by their favorite characters, their favorite love story, their favorite song, their favorite moment. Many of you love that moment where they had that iconic elevator scene where Zed looked at Addison and said, "We got to win a football, because if we don't win a football, zombies will never achieve acceptance." It's never been about somebody achieving acceptance in this lifetime. It's all about how you achieve your dreams and how you set a goal for yourself. And that goal becomes accomplished over time, because there is no greater feeling in the world. You don't necessarily have to achieve acceptance, because there's only going to be one you. So because there's only ever going to be only one you, you've got to find time in appreciating yourself. You've got to set a goal for yourself, and you've got to accomplish your dream, because you only ever have a limited number of hours or moments to achieve these dreams. And the thing is, what's so precious about life is, often taken for granted, is the fact that we never seem to know how much time we have. And that's why I've appreciated how Descendants of Zombies has really brought this to the forefront, illustrating and putting a greater emphasis on just how precious time is. Because, you see, the thing about time is time always runs out. And because we never seem to know how much time we have, we've really got to take full advantage of these moments. And that is precisely what I'm here to do. That's precisely what I'm here to illustrate and emphasize, put a greater emphasis on just how precious time is and how valuable the friendships are that we make in our lifetime seem to be. Because one very valuable piece of advice that my mom gave me years ago, my mom was a school teacher for over 30 years, and she always used to say, "Jonathan, you don't need a whole lot of friends. All you need are 2 or 3 really good friends to help you make it through life, to help you make sense of everything going on around you." And let's say you have 2 or 3 really good friends who call you every night, who watch Descendants of Zombies with you, who often relate to you. That's what's so special about life. And that is the one thing that we should never ever take for granted. I often use thumbnails illustrating the friendships between Kylie, Ruby, and Malia because they are beautiful friendships. I've never paid any attention to what critics have said about how Malia Baker and Kylie Control are no longer friends because of what happened off the set of Descendants and Zombies and behind the scenes at the Worlds Collide tour, because that's just starting bogus rumors. And I think that what critics are trying to do, it's called drinking proverbial Kool-Aid, which means that they convince you that what you're watching or what you're seeing in images or articles that you're reading online is the truth. But what it comes down to is how much you believe in Descendants of Zombies. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to take away what critics are trying to make you believe and trying to sell you by drinking the proverbial Kool-Aid. I know there are people who watch these videos who feel very passionate about Descendants of Zombies, who have forever felt strongly about these characters and the stories they represented and the characters they really brought to life. Because nobody could have done it as effectively as what Kylie Contrell did or Ruby Rose Turner was able to do. I have a profound amount of respect for somebody like Ruby, who was never taken seriously early on in her career, but really went on to define her legacy through characters like Bridget, and of course one of the characters on Fuller House. She may have only been there for a limited number of episodes on the Netflix series Fuller House, but I appreciated Ruby's roles because she appreciated them and she appreciated life. She had such an appreciation for life that she taught me the value to appreciate life and how important things that happen to us seem to be. And I never ever forgot Ruby for teaching me those valuable life lessons, and I've kind of passed them on to people here on this YouTube channel. You know, I've had a chance to be a part of every generation of Disney. I had a chance to grow up during the Disney Renaissance era, which was the era that was prided off Disney's original characters and franchises like Hercules, Milan, and the 101 Dalmatians. 101 Dalmatians were one of the very first movies I ever watched, that and Beauty and the Beast back in 1990, 1991. I remember having the entire Disney Masterpiece collection on my shelf in my basement, and I remember every night watching one Disney movie. If I had 2 hours when I was 5 years old at the nighttime before I fell asleep, the one thing I wanted to do was watch a Disney movie. And I felt very passionate about my Disney movie collection, and I still have it to this day in their original VHS cases. Some of those VHSs that were first released back in the 90s are worth over $15,000 now. In particularly, the Beauty and the Beast original VHS cassette tape is worth over $10,000 if you've never opened it. And I know that's really hard for a lot of people to believe, but look it up online. You will be surprised at the fun facts that you find. I never ever forgot watching movies like Superman and Batman Returns on June 19th, 1992. I forever remember that date because Batman was one of my favorite superheroes of all time that I ever witnessed. There was just something so cool about Batman just being Batman. You know, a kid would look at Batman and say, "Who are you?" And he would look at them and say, "I'm Batman." He had nothing special about him. He was just Batman. And he really kicked a whole lot of butt because he believed that he was just a superhero that didn't need no superpowers like Spider-Man or Superman with X-ray vision to be that definitive superhero. And I've always felt very passionate about it. If there ever was a guy who believed that Spider-Man was going to swoop down from out of nowhere and save the day, it was this guy. I was a true believer. Stan Lee made me a true believer, and I miss Stan Lee ever since he passed away. Because he made true believers not just out of me, but out of everybody who was a fan of Spider-Man or any superhero that you may have been a fan of. And I think it's so cool that you hear people like Kylie Contrell and Meg Donnelly expressing desires to want to be in these Marvel and DC movies. I support that. I support Ruby Rose Turner's dream of wanting to be the iconic Rapunzel in the live-action Tangled, although it never happened and Tegan Croft took that offer from Disney. The thing was, I would have forever supported Ruby Rose Turner because Ruby Rose Turner just had this appreciation for life. And I think if anyone would have ever been able to bring the character Rapunzel to life, Ruby Rose Turner would have been able to do this hands down. And I would have came out front and center. I would have taken center stage with Ruby just to be a part of something so special for her, because this would have been really a life-changing experience for her and exactly what she wanted to have happen for her. I remember when she would do interviews promoting Descendants, and they asked her if there was one character she wanted to really bring to life, and she immediately chose Rapunzel. Freya Sky's done the same thing because they feel very passionate about these princesses. You know, I don't care who you are. You all have a favorite Disney princess. Even if you may have never admitted to it, we all have favorite Disney princesses. Mine were Rapunzel and Belle. If I had to choose between any Disney princesses, it would come down to Rapunzel and Belle. And if I had to choose over the two of them, I think it would have to be Rapunzel because it just had something to do with her appreciation for life and how she really valued her friends and her friendships with people like Eugene and Maximus and Pascal. You know, as oftenly never serious as Pascal was never taken, Rapunzel was the one person who took Pascal's advice and took Pascal seriously. She also took Maximus very seriously, and they protected her throughout that entire movie. How they protected their friendships in those movies are often never given enough credit, but it's something that should be highlighted. And I think that the live-action Tangled gives us something even more of a reason to be excited about that future. Milo Manheim's playing Flint Rider Eugene, and I'm really excited about that because these are opportunities that are very far and apart. And I think that because these are opportunities that are very far and apart, these are opportunities that should be seized. I'm looking forward to the Australian actress Tegan Clarke playing Rapunzel, but I would have gone for Ruby and Freya over those selections because I really do believe that when you have the chance to bring such an iconic role to life, you should. And I think with how forever passionate people like Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner have been about Descendants and every opportunity they've ever received, we can offer them more encouragement. We can truly come together and believe in franchises like Descendants of Zombies perhaps more than we ever have. Honestly, guys, I've had the time of my life creating hundreds of videos about Descendants of Zombies. This is my second podcast. It's just after 9:08 in the morning. And later on tonight, I will return with a final video on Descendants of Zombies, once again sharing my thoughts and my insights with thousands of people that I can only hope are going to find my thumbnail, because one of the greatest challenges in the world as a content creator is uploading your video with your thumbnail and hoping that somebody is going to click on and watch the video from beginning to end. That's one of the greatest challenges that every content creator on YouTube faces. In 2005, it was also very difficult to upload videos. I'll have more to say on that later on in another podcast for you guys because I'm somewhat of a historian and a Disney nostalgist, so I was there from the very beginning of YouTube. I saw it go through an evolutionary process, a metamorphosis, if you would. I saw Disney do the same thing, and I felt more than honored to cover pop culture and sit behind a radio program, a microphone, and a YouTube channel and create it in the way that I finally had the chance to. There's no worse feeling in the world than being told what to say on your radio program or your YouTube videos. And when I finally got a chance to create the shows the way I wanted to and represent myself the way that I emphatically wanted to stand out for being a very different content creator, more people fell in love with that. And I couldn't help but find time and appreciating how you guys gave this YouTube channel such an overwhelming response. The reason why this YouTube channel has gone on to see so much profound success has everything to do with how much you guys have believed in me and believed in this channel. You guys have obviously saw something special in every video that I've ever created, and I will never live long enough to showcase my appreciation for thousands of people, thousands of girls who have subscribed here to this YouTube channel because they heard something special in my voice and they saw something special in every video that I ever created. What an honor. And I wish more content creators felt the same way and perceived this as an honor to create content for you guys, because it's about your audience and how well you receive your audience and respond to them. And I've responded to my audience very emphatically by giving you the content and creating the content, pumping out the content every night that you guys want to watch here on this YouTube channel. You guys will always have this YouTube channel. Regardless of who comes in and out of these franchises, Descendants of Zombies, you guys will have me as a dedicated voice and a dedicated heart for Descendants of Zombies who listens to you and creates the content and uploads the content that you have forever loved and found time in appreciating. And I feel more than honored to do that for you guys for at least the last decade. What an incredible decade it's been. I've had so much fun meeting so many wonderful people, and I've still got my work cut out for me, because even with how many people I've already met previously, I still have so many wonderful people that I have yet to meet, and I look forward to that in the very near future. If you are somebody who has never smashed my subscribe button, please do. I would love for you to be a part of these conversations, because there are never enough time in every conversation that we have to say how we really feel about Descendants of Zombies. I wish there was more time, but we have to make the most of the time that we have and certainly appreciate it, because time is to be valued. Time is forever precious, guys. Time never seems to be on our sides, but that never means that we can't make the most of every opportunity we have, every chance. Because we believe in Descendants of Zombies. We've obviously taken something so special away from it, and I felt more more than honored to have been a part of this with thousands of people who obviously have seen something special in me and every video that I've ever had the honor to create. So if you have not subscribed here to this YouTube channel, I would love for you to be a part of this conversation. So don't forget to like the video, hit the subscribe button, and show your love and support for this channel, because even though this YouTube channel has come so far in such a short amount of time, as I just said, time never seems to be on our side, and we really have to make the most of the time that we had, because it's forever precious and it will forever and always remain that way. The one thing that has been constant for Descendants and Zombies fans has been this YouTube channel. Some way or somehow I've broken the fourth wall. We've set records, we've shattered records because of this YouTube channel, and we are continuing to make waves on the YouTube platform every night. Every video I upload seems to find its way out into the YouTube algorithm, and I feel more than honored to be really become the voice of Descendants and Zombies, and to have lent my voice to the Descendants and Zombies soundtracks for so many years, for what really feels like forever. I have felt more than honored to have shared my story with each and every one of you, and to have heard yours in return. Thank you so much for having a very special place in your heart for Descendants and Zombies, and having it mean so much to all of your hearts. Thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel of all time, and for watching this video.